Hi everybody! Today we are back inside the Savage engine and I thought we would talk about this little guy. A super important part of the engine, but also a part surrounded by quite some mystery. The engineers over at Suzuki are so ashamed of this part that they didn't even want to give it a name in their own factory service manual. Online searches yield scarce and cryptic results, and every single photo of this little thing seems to have vanished from the internet. And if you are to stumble upon this part on your garage floor post an engine teardown, your engine is probably soon to end up dead. Oh wow, well anyways, in my last video I replaced my camshaft, and when doing that I had to pull the clutch basket. But what I didn't show in that video, and it was actually one of you viewers that pointed that out, was this little dowel pin. Well yes, the climber manual has actually given this a name. They call it the dowel pin. So today our focus is entirely on demystifying this tiny but oh so important part. And as a quick side note, when I went back to pull the clutch basket to make this video, I actually discovered I was missing this pin. So I'm for one am super glad I'm making this video. I have my clutch basket here on my bench. Let's have a closer look. This is the rear of the clutch basket. And right here is a little hole for a 6mm pin. Since I was missing this pin, probably due to an incorrect clutch reassembly by a previous owner, and my local dealer were closed, I decided to make a new pin myself from an M6 bolt. And even though I like to make my own parts for my motorcycle, I wouldn't actually encourage anyone to make their own engine parts. Especially since these parts cost like $1 at your dealer. I will swap this for the proper part before reassembly, but this one is good enough for this demonstration. And I dropped it. Crap. Even when holding it in my hand, it's impossible to not lose it. Found it! Anyway, this pin goes into this little hole. Then the oil pump drive gear goes on top and locks the clutch basket and the gear together. At this stage, the pin is secure in place, but when it's up like this, as it is when you are taking it out of the engine, it falls out easily when you remove the oil pump drive gear. So, is it even possible to pull the clutch basket without having this little dowel pin falling out? Well, I think so. My advice would be to pull the clutch basket out a little bit, then reach under with your left hand and press the oil pump drive gear against the clutch basket. Then move them both out together. That should make sure that the pin stays in place. But before doing this, maybe stuff some paper into these rabbit holes here, just in case. Because if you drop the pin, you don't want it to disappear into the engine. So now, let's quickly just talk about what this dowel pin actually does and how it can ruin your whole engine. This pin connects the clutch to the oil pump drive gear. So yeah, it's actually making the oil pump run. So without this pin, the oil pump actually won't run, and in an air-cooled engine like this one, the engine oil plays a significant role in cooling the engine. And without proper cooling, you are soon looking at a blown engine. And I know that some of you have already ran into the garage to rip the engine open to make sure that this little pin is where it should be. But there's really no reason to do that. This is only a problem if the clutch basket has previously been pulled and reassembled incorrectly. It won't just fall out by itself. But if you are already inside the engine, maybe you are doing the camshaft tensioner mod, there's actually a pretty easy way to make sure that this pin is where it's supposed to be. If you got the engine open like this, you can try to turn the oil pump driven gear right here. If it has just a little play and it doesn't turn freely, the pin is in place and you can move on with your day. But if the gear spins freely like this, then you need to pull the clutch basket to see what's going on behind it. Another thing that seems to be pretty common is to put this oil pump drive gear in backwards. And it actually makes sense. If you are missing the pin, this gear actually fits a little bit better this way. But then it won't engage this oil pump gear, so make sure you put it in correctly. Well, that's all I had to tell you about this tiny little dowel pin. If you learned something new, maybe leave a like, and if you want to see more videos about my Savage, maybe consider subscribing as well. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye!